NoSQL movement basically was done to bring in certain amount of performance improvement at the database layer for an application to process the data and give it. Now the applications are architected mainly towards how you want to persist the data and retrieve it. The application logic to process the data may be different. Okay, I may write the code in a different way, you may write it in a different way. But at an overall view, if you look at it, that a graph-oriented database, a relationship-based database, needs to be stored in one particular way for it to be efficient in the hard disk to retrieve it. Similarly, you have a blog. The blog has certain metadata and tags associated with that. Now, the rest of the content what is there is not that much of a important thing. The metadata itself should give you most of the information about what the content is. The English grammar is, was, there, all those words are not relevant. Only the content what is being told is more key. That comes as a tag and it becomes a metadata and stored. So there are two types of things that started happening for storing blogs. One is called the document-oriented database itself, where you store the document as a blog and then put the tag around it. That is one way. Other way is you store it as a key value pair. So this is the tag, this is the key, and this is the content which it points to. So that is the second type of way in which you can store the content. So I have talked about major social networking things which are there right now. One is Facebook kind of, LinkedIn kind of relationship where the data is stored in a relative fashion. The second one is information and a lot of these websites where you actually host user contents. Okay, so blogs and other sites. These are the two major loads that are there on the internet today, if you see, in terms of retrieving information. So, and some of them like photo sites and are all combination of these two.
Yeah.
So you have pictures, then you share it with others. But picture itself is a blob. It looks like a document. So this is the third type of the applications that are found in the internet. So in the internet era, what is more critical is the response time for rendering that data to you. So why should I break this data into some flat structure, put it into some table like what I had shown before for the big table, and then again denormalize it, put it back into the data structure and give it to you. So that is where this different types of NoSQL databases started coming in. So there are majorly 4 types of NoSQL databases that you can find. Along with the NoSQL growth, there has been a lot of growth on the SQL side of things also. Okay, it's not that it has ceased to exist. SQL is going to be there. So the definition of NoSQL, if you ask, is not no to SQL, this is not only SQL. So you have to have SQL, along with it you have to have some kind of a data structure and persistent data storage, which will actually help you in making your application much more powerful. So the NoSQL, there are 4 types that have come. The big table one which I mentioned about Google, then you have the key value pair, then you have the document oriented databases, and then finally you have the graph oriented databases. So some of the examples are, these are the Google's big table. Okay, I've written the big table itself as the name. So this is Google's big table. Then this is Cassandra and related. This is CouchDB, MongoDB. And in the graph, there are something called Neo4j, then OrientDB. These are some of the examples of some of the things. So the data is stored like a graph. Here the data is stored like a document. The document can consist of metadata and then blobs. It can be an image, it can be audio, it can be video. And associated with that, they also give you a file system. In the case of this one, it is called GridFS. In the case of Mongo. CouchDB by nature didn't have it, but a company called Couchbase gives this kind of ability similar to what MongoDB offers. In key value, there are plenty of options. Cassandra is one of the storage. If you look at the document-oriented database, it is actually a overlay on top of the key value itself sometimes. Okay, so there are certain databases that are coming up which are merging these things. So one of the databases which I am currently involved is started off as a key value store. Now they are adding a document layer, and all these guys are also giving an SQL interface to that for querying in a legacy way. So there is an SQL layer for that. So similarly, big table guys also give some kind of SQL thing. So since these things are happening, there is a new word which is coming up called new SQL. Okay, which basically merges all this technologies into and give it. So also should be classified into that. Now new SQL also started off as a branch of SQL. Now because MySQL has been taken over by the Oracle, there is a branch out project called Maniappan. So I'm coming to the future part. So MariaDB is nothing but MySQL clone. And then you have PostgreSQL itself, which is offering the NoSQL flavors. And of course Oracle also has a NoSQL flavor.
Okay. Oracle
also has them. So the future of this NoSQL is going towards a place where it is not NoSQL, it is not only SQL. It is becoming more common tools. So the MongoDB course that we will have will cover in detail what is the document-oriented database of the NoSQL and how these NoSQLs are enabling to store the data which can offer capabilities of big data for you to analyze the data and databases. So all the exercises will be towards that.